Are we ready? Are we live? All right. Good morning and welcome. Well, thank you so much. Good morning and welcome. My name is Mark Minden, and I'll be your MC for today. I am pleased to welcome those here in our community center and those joining on Facebook Live and YouTube to Kansas City Oasis. Since 2014, Oasis has been the premier secular alternative to faith-based communities. We welcome all, regardless of beliefs or non-belief, race, gender, sexual orientation, identity, or any other trait. We feel that the human experience is better when it is shared, and we are so pleased that you have chosen to share it with us. We gather around our 5 core values, which are: people are more important than beliefs, reality is known through reason, human hands solve human problems, meaning comes from making a difference, be accepting and be accepted. You can find out more about Oasis and our philosophy at www.kansascityoasis.org/ourphilosophy. Today's program, our featured speaker is Geri on Strong Roots, Great Achievements, the Community at 18th and Vine, Past and Present. Our musical guest is Adriene Nikole, and our community moment will be from Dr. Amanda Blanchard. And now we welcome Adriene Nikole. Yay! You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram. You can stream her on YouTube and Spotify. Having grown up near the Motor City in Michigan, Adriene was exposed to the music of Motown and developed a love for soul and oldies. She expanded her music horizons listening to R&B pop. Adriene doesn't put her songwriting into a category. She'd rather explore various sounds and styles. She's been living and sharing her music in the Kansas City area for the past 10 years, so please give Adriene a big round of applause.
Hello.
Take it away, Adriene.
All right. Happy to be here. If any of you went to the No Kings protest yesterday, I hope everything was good. I was there in spirit. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in freedom of speech, so really glad that, people got out there and did that, so awesome. Anyway, yes, I am from Michigan. I lived in Nashville for a year. I've kind of been all over, so I've got to meet tons of just amazing musicians, and but Kansas City has been the spot where I just it's my home base. I've got a fella out here and everything, and it's just, I feel like things just kind of just all came together real nice. So, but anyway, I write a lot of original songs. I do have stuff out, so I'm gonna start off with the song called Overboard. And I just wrote it kind of in a difficult time, and basically it was a person I knew that was just, I think we can all deal with it, we all go through this, but sometimes there's someone in your life that's just toxic. So that's what this is about. Try so hard, but they don't want me. I'm seeing stars, but they're out of reach. I'll drink it down, it's got a bad taste. Burn my insides, won't go to waste. And you got between us getting warmer. And I know it might be crazy, ready to jump ship. And now I'm going overboard, and it's alright. And I'll just show you that it's fine, and we can dance under the moonlight. Well, I'm going overboard, and it's alright. Yes. Well, give it my all, but then I'm shot down, losing my grip. I can't face the crowd. It took so long, it's like there's no end. It isn't pretty, and I can't pretend that you got me in the corner. The heat between is getting warmer, and I know it might be crazy, ready to jump ship. And now I'm going overboard, and it's alright. And I'll just show you that it's fine, and we can dance under the moonlight. Well, I'm going overboard, and it's alright. Well, yes, it's alright. Well, yes, it's alright. Oh, yes, it's alright. Ooh, I'm going overboard, and it's alright. And I'll just show you that it's fine, and we can dance under the moonlight. Well, I'm going overboard, and it's alright. Thank you all very much. Alrighty, so there's two, right? Gotcha. All right. So this one is called Wasted, and this will be, that last song, Overboard, is actually out, so you can find it on Spotify, all that. And then this one is called Wasted. I actually wrote this like 10 years ago, and basically just, again, it can be open for interpretation, just kind of wasting your time with somebody who just is, again, toxic or just, draining you. So this one will actually be coming out. It hasn't been released yet, but we just recorded it, and that should be out next month. So I'm really excited about it. But yeah. Why do you play with me? I've noticed lately I've become your toy. remember all the fuss that turned sweet into sour. I'm losing my patience, ready to jump the fence. Oh, every other hour. Oh, you talk and you tease, but you never aim to please, and it's bringing me down. You make a fool out of me, and I feel so empty. You just turn around. Well, chains have all come undone. You're finished having fun. It's the end of the line. Well, give it up, you're the fool. I can't believe I played it cool. I wasted so much time. Chains have all come undone. Well, you're finished having fun. It's the end of the line. Give it up, you're the fool. Can't believe I played it cool. Well, I wasted so much I wasted so much time. What? So that'll be on. That'll be coming out soon. So thank you.
That was beautiful. Such a powerful, strong vocals. I love that. I like songs that you can, I'm going to show my age. I like to know the words. But thank you. That was great. Oh, we have some birthdays this week. David Ricks. Is David here? David, there's David. Happy birthday, David. Sydney Moats. Sydney? Not here. Here's one. Sally Menden. Hi, Sally. Happy birthday. I'm glad you actually put that there, so now I won't forget it this year. That's very thoughtful. And Amanda Nedzowitsky. Happy birthday to all of them. Happy birthday. If you have any life events that you'd like to share or to celebrate, let us know. If you need any assistance, if you're having difficult times, just need somebody to talk about, you can, yeah, that was a little slip. If you need someone to talk to, just see somebody with a name tag, a yellow name tag. Actually, you can see just about anybody at Oasis. We're all willing to step up and share your successes and troubles, I guess. Oh, okay. Our volunteer of the week is Will Manning. Looks can be to see. It shocked me when I saw the picture as well. Will's kind of our stealth volunteer because he does a ton of stuff around here that people don't have any clue that he's doing. That's why he's a stealth. Will Manning has been part of the Kansas City Oasis since early days and often been available for AV. He's been running the sound for Oasis on Sundays and can be nerve-wracking and sometimes complicated. But Will stepped right up when we needed another sound person. Oasis is grateful he has the time to take on this task. We appreciate you, Will. Thank you, Will. Do we always give them the Volunteer of the Week when they're not here? See, it seems to happen a lot. We have openings in community groups in the Raytown area, Friday, 6:30 to 8:30, Northern Lee Summit, Tuesday, Overland Park on Fridays, North Kansas City, Saturdays. So if you're looking to attend a community group, you can contact Justine Flick, and she can get you signed up with a community group. You can join as many community groups as you would like to attend. So, we have Thursday, October 23rd. We have a game night at the Kansas Oasis Community Center. You can bring your favorite board games and snack to share, and you can roll some dice, shuffle some cards, and make some great memories. Do we have a contact? Who's the contact on that? Is that Ethan? That's right. Help us be part of the neighborhood this Halloween. We'd love to decorate the outside of our building. If you have extra outdoor decorations that you don't require electricity or batteries, please bring them next Sunday since it's the last Sunday before Halloween. Join us for Halloween evening at 6 to 9 p.m. You can put on your costumes, you can bring snacks and a chair. We'll enjoy a fire pit in the parking lot and hand out candy to any trick-or-treaters that come by. Join us Saturday, November 1st for the special production of the Coterie Theater with the Union Cemetery Historical Society, Electric Poe. Bring your own chair and tickets. They are $26 and they sell out fast. So you can purchase on the Coterie Theater's website. And if you want to follow us on our social media, these are the places you can find us. We got YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Don't we have a Discord thing too? Oh, there's a Discord thing too. I don't know what Discord is, so. Our community moment for this morning is an opportunity for a member of our community to present on a topic of their choice during a Sunday gathering. For today's community moment, we will hear from Dr. Amanda Blanchard, DC, CC, IC. That's a lot of initials. Her 3 words are bold-faced, empathetic, and creativepreneur. Hey, I got it. Her warning is widely inappropriate in all times, in all places, and all ways. We welcome Amanda. You go by Manda, though, right? Manda. Okay.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start out. I am widely inappropriate, and if I drop any of these today, I apologize before I even started. I am a writer, not a speaker. They fired me from that position, and they don't give me a microphone very often. So if I do it, really sorry. I am a doctor, yes, but I don't do that. I creativepreneur. I create opportunities with my creativity. I'm changing my fate with stories. and I hope that you guys will join me. What happened to this girl? That's not who's in front of you today. She was really confident in those bangs. I mean, not really confident. I mean, she looked kind of sad, and she no longer trusts her parents with a pair of scissors. But something changed. There's no bangs here today. So what happened to her? War. Not really. They kicked me out. I didn't even graduate basic training. So this is actually in part of the story structure called foreshadowing. We're going to get back to this later. What really happened is called my inciting incident. With every parent, we all think this. Our children changed our lives. They did. They did. For every one of us. I know they did. It did it for me too. This is my son, Merrick. I wasn't able to get pregnant. We tried IVF, nothing. So during my VA disability rating, I had a procedure that did some radiation exposure. Come to find out, I was pregnant. My son was severely exposed to radiation. This is him. He's a little bit older now, but I was really scared for a long time when I was pregnant. What's gonna happen? He turned out really cute, really cute. Cannot speak, cannot say any words, and he couldn't for 12 years. What happened, okay, this is a really weird photo, but that is Shrek and Donkey, or Puss in Boots and Donkey from Shrek. In that moment, in that movie, what happens is Donkey, or in Shrek, Donkey doesn't want to move, he's dancing, he's shaking his booty, and he's having a good time. And Puss in Boots is like, we need to go. So he grabs his claws, and he swipes that booty, and Donkey takes off running. My son starts laughing, and he walks up to me, grabs his little hand, and he swipes my booty too. And he goes, then it's up to me. Some of his first words. I knew in that moment I could communicate with my son. I could get him. And so that was my call to action. I knew how to get him to communicate, how to give him back his words. So I could stop screaming as a mother, thinking that as a doctor, I screwed him up. So I was gonna change my fate and change his fate in the process. And what I did is I found this community, the Casey Screenwriters. They taught me everything I know on how to give him back his words. They are the best community, and I love you, Lindsay. I'm also emotional. I love this community so much. They gave me everything I needed to tell my story. They gave me the structure, they gave me the community, they gave me the events, they told me everything I needed to know for free. And they're right here in this community. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without this community. And they sent me to another community, the IFCKC. This community taught me how to take my story and make it into a film, how to share my story with everybody. I skipped a slide, and I'm sorry, but Casey Screenwriters meets on every Wednesday. The only Wednesday they don't meet is on the third Wednesday of the month when we all go and join up for the IFCKC. The Casey Screenwriters meets at Harpo's in Westport. And it's great. We read screenplays and we help each other. The IFCKC meets at the Bird Comedy Club at 7 p.m. on the third Wednesday of the month. We get together, we share stories, we create culture. Because of this community, I was able to do my very first screenplay that I ever wrote just a couple weeks ago in this very building, Praying for Pray. And some of you were here and helped me, and I appreciate it so much. You have no idea how great it is to have someone help you share your story. And because of all these events, we're gonna go back to that foreshadowing. I was able to get into the Writers Guild Foundation Veterans Writing Project. And what that is that we are able, as veterans, to go out to the Hollywood, to the writers in Hollywood, and they individually train us for a year on how to write. And then we get to pitch our stories to every studio at the end of this event. I'm in this program right now, and it is the most glorious thing I've ever experienced. I dropped out and did not make it through basic training. These guys accepted me like a veteran for the first time. I walked in knowing what the program needed of me because I've been studying with the KC screenwriters and with the IFC KC. I knew everything that I needed to do to show up for this program. And when I did, we had a POW in this room. We had Marines, lieutenant colonels. I'm the basic trainee dropout. When we went to talk to the speaker, I said, where are we sitting at? And they're like, I don't know, Amanda. You're our leader. You tell us. And in that moment, it was a full circle. I felt completed and whole as a veteran and as a person. So what I'm doing in this program is I'm learning to fail. Because we all fail. That's what we're gonna do until we win. So you gotta keep going. But learning to fail is also my true story about my son. It's how I feel. I failed him. But I'm not gonna fail him forever. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna give him back his words. It's not over until we say cut. So keep going. So I ask all of you, you all have stories. Every single one of you has had an inciting incident in your life that made you change course, look at your life, and change directions. Those stories are what makes culture in our community. That's what builds us and brings us together. We need those stories to bond, to become together, and to be great people. So if any of you want to learn how to tell your stories, find me. I'm on Facebook. Lindsay's in the community. She's great with documentaries. Wendell's here. Raise your hand, Wendell. He is a cinematographer, and he's excellent. We are here to support you with any of the stories that you wish to tell. And thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
So what I'm hearing is there was a Shrek miracle. Religions have been founded on less, so I think we can do the new Church of Shrek. Is that? All right, time for the coffee break. During the coffee break, be sure to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. See the TV over the center doors for more upcoming events and information. We'll see you back here in 20 minutes. Oh, I wish I had my bullhorn. Dang, should have brought it. All righty. Well. All right, let's welcome back Adriene Nikole for another song. Adriene, is there any? I'm curious. You write songs. Do you have a writing process? Do you sit down at a desk and say, "I'm going to write a song," or do you just like write it throughout the?
Sometimes it's. I have this song called "Lasso." You can find it on anywhere. But that happened. I was in my kitchen doing dishes.
Okay.
And I kept singing this phrase over and over, and I'm like, I gotta write that down. So sometimes it just kind of happens where out of the blue, where I just kind of get a phrase stuck in my head. Other times I have more intent, where I'm like, I need to sit down and write a song. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have a melody, and I go, I'm going to write lyrics to that. Sometimes I have lyrics that come before, so it's kind of just...
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're looking for inspiration, we have a whole house of inspiration. You could clean the bathrooms and do the dishes, and you could make a lot of amazing songs.
Yes. There you go, have all the
all right,
all the inspiration.
We'll talk after the program here. All right, well,
but yeah.
Take it away. It's all yours.
Alrighty, let me flip this really quick. All right. So this song is called "The Way," and it's not the typical like you find the way or anything. It's about getting in your own way. I wrote it when I was just having a bad day. Depression and anxiety is always going to be there. It's something I've dealt with my whole life. I've learned to, over the years, and it's not easy. I don't know why people just think you can just, you have people say, oh, you should just go jogging or, eat better food and you'll feel better. That's not a, while that helps, that's not a solution. So, but I was just I just felt really down. And this song came out of it, so it's just about just being in your own way. Waking up from a big daydream, it's never what it seems. I like to pretend. Call it whatever I want, but I know it's always the same in the end. You've got all your situations, such a reputation inside of your hands. Guess I'll say congratulations, 'cause you really made it. I don't know who I am. What can I do? What can I say? I feel uncomfortable today. How do I change everything when I keep getting in the way? Maybe I thought I would make it after all the same hit. I would get it all. Daydreams still clouding my memories. I keep on pretending that I'll never fall. Hurting from the aggravation, can no longer place it high up on a shelf. Tired of the complications, I need a vacation somewhere from myself. What can I do? What can I say? I feel uncomfortable today. How do I change everything my time, 'cause I keep waiting. I keep waiting. What can I do? What can I say? I feel uncomfortable today. How do I change everything when I keep getting in the
So I like this Instagram, Adriana, just Adriana. I feel like there's a lyric in there somewhere, or a story, or there's got to be something.
Do you
with
want to hear it real quick? I mean,
real quick, yeah, let's hear that.
Basically, honestly, it was just like, do I want to take out my middle name, Nikole, because my last name is actually Moreira. So it was kind of mouthful, Adriene Nikole Moreira. So I said, why don't I just go down to Adriana, just Adriana, but I think I'm just gonna keep Adriene Nikole. So that's why that has that.
So let's write a song together.
Yeah,
We'll-
maybe I should
All right.
Adriana, just Adriana.
I got a lot of ideas. I don't know why all you people are laughing at that. All right, now my favorite part of the show, or program, excuse me, it's not a show. Our program is designed to generate conversation and to engage our powers of reason, not as a forum to start debates. The following presentation has been presented by our speaker and not by Kansas City Oasis. Please respect the views of our speaker, and if you have any questions, a Q&A session will follow as time permits. Let me introduce Geri Sanders. She holds a bachelor's and master's degree in history with a concentration in African American studies. From 2006 to 2020, she taught American history and African American history at Metropolitan Community College. She also worked as an archivist at the Black Archives of Mid-America, director of collections at the American Jazz Museum, and a consultant at the Kansas City Museum. She has an impressive collection of additional projects. Currently, Ms. Sanders is an independent historical consultant with a focus on Black Kansas City, with an emphasis on 18th and Vine Historic District, leading tours and highlighting the many Black-owned businesses from the past. Welcome, Geri. There's Geri.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? Oh, there she is. I thought you were going to come in from behind or something.
Whoop. It fell. I need, my mic fell.
All
Let's
right.
try it again.
Welcome, Geri. Come on up.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my presentation. Okay, the title of my presentation is Strong Roots, Great Achievements, the Community at 18th and Vine, Past and Present. And what I will try to do is highlight the past and bring you up to speed as what's happening at this community in the present. I'll start off with a brief introduction, and it goes something like this. In the 1920s, the community at 18th and Vine came about because of segregation. Consequently, many great organizations and institutions, such as schools, churches, and businesses, were established to meet the needs of the community. This led to the organization of many modern-day establishments, which have branched out to many parts of the city, the Midwest, and even the nation. Please note that there are so many people, places, and things that I cannot highlight them all, okay? So I would like to keep this presentation down to a bare minimum. But if after the presentation you have anything that you want to ask me about the area, please feel free to do so. So let's discuss the community back then. What made it great? I would say struggle, yes. But what attracted people to the region that became known as the Mecca of the new Negro? And this was in the 1920s. Why did they come to Kansas City, and where did they come from? This presentation will focus on those that influenced the region and how their vision paved the way for the many leaders of today. The 18th Combined District developed during the 1920s when the number of African Americans came to Kansas City and increased. And that was, of course, due to the Great Migration. Many left rural areas from all over the nation to move here. Black people came from southern towns in Arkansas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Alabama, all over the South. The push factors were that they were leaving because of the violence, but the pull factors were the jobs in the stock markets. When African Americans came to Kansas City, they found the same conditions here as those that they had left. And that was because segregation and a way of thinking was fully entrenched in the communities here in Kansas City. Therefore, blacks had to establish their parallel organizations, their schools, and their businesses to cater to the needs of the African American community. I will attempt to highlight the original establishment and the founders, and then parallel those with today's. Excuse me. Although the 18th and Vine community was primarily known for its commercial value, nightclubs, dance halls, and other establishments flourished. The Subway Club, the Cherry Blossom Club, the Blue Room, as well as several other businesses helped this area become a preeminent center for jazz that was developed in the 1920s. The influence of Tom Pendergast, who was the boss of the Democratic machine in Kansas City, plus Prohibition, helped to initiate the KC style of jazz. Pendergast's wide open town allowed nightclubs to remain open 24 hours during this time. This provided musicians with plenty of work, and they were able then to refine their crafts in cutting sessions. An important person that helped to develop the Kansas City KC style of jazz was Charlie Yardbird Parker. Parker was a highly influential jazz saxophonist, soloist, and a leading figure in the development of bebop. Parker attended Attic School and Lincoln High School, but eventually moved to New York, where he led a very successful career. Parker tragically died on March 12, 1955. Horrible story. And he is buried in Lincoln Cemetery in Kansas City. And there's tours that go. You can actually go to the American Jazz Museum and find out the map and find your way to his gravesite if that's what you want. Parker's style has dominated jazz for many, many years. And today, Bobby Watson. He was born in Lawrence, Kansas, but grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. He had a long career He has a long career performing throughout the world with many legendary artists such as Wynton and Branford Marsalis, Max Roach, and many, many others. After a long career in New York City, Watson returned to Kansas City as the first William D. and Mary Grant, Missouri Distinguished Professor of Jazz Studies at the University of Missouri at Kansas City Conservatory of Music. As the Director of Jazz Studies, Watson's UMKC ensembles received several awards and national recognition. Watson retired in 2020, but he continues to tour. The Star Theater opened in 1912 and was renamed the Gym in 1913. The Gym was built solely for the use for African American audiences and had a seating capacity of 1,400. Movies ran in the theater until the 1970s when it became a venue for live performances. Since 1997, after a detailed renovation, a 500-seat performance space was created for the American Jazz Museum. And this is the museums at 18th and Vine. The Paseo YMCA opened in 1914, and at this location, 8 independent black baseball owners met in 1920 to form the Negro Leagues. The Paseo Y served the community from its opening in 1914 until it closed in 1970. Today, renovations are being made to reopen the YMCA as the John Buck O'Neill Education and Resource Center. The offices for the Negro Leagues baseball museums will eventually be moved into that space. In 1925, Wynton Holmes founded Merit Records. He produced records in his studio and sold them in his record store, which was located at 1704 East 18th Street. And I love this. This says Cabbage Head Blues, okay? It was one of the records that was produced at Merit Studio. And the business only lasted for about 4 years, but he was instrumental in producing race records catering to the African American community. Andrew Skip Carter began operating the radio station in 1950s, which was the first radio station west of the Mississippi that catered to African Americans. It was known as the People's Radio Station, and I think that the K is for radio stations west of the Mississippi. Consequently, you come up with KPRS. I love that. Today, his grandson, Michael Carter, is the chairman of the board, so it is still family run. It is noteworthy that KPRS has been owned by an African American family longer than any other radio station, according to the FCC. Let's jump to healthcare. Drs. J. Edward Perry and Dr. Thomas Conrad Unthank were pioneers in the medical field. Dr. Perry opened the Perry Sanitarium in 1910 at his home at 1214 Vine Street, where he also operated a nurses' training nurses' training school. And these are the graduates in 1914. Later, he founded the Wheatley Providence Hospital and moved into the space at 1826 Forest. Now, I get really emotional when I talk about this one because Wheatley Hospital became the first black hospital west of the Mississippi that was owned and operated privately by African Americans. The hospital closed in 1972 when Martin Luther King Hospital was built at 25th and Euclid. Part of that hospital, I believe, is torn down. I can never find it when I'm at 25th and Euclid. But part of the hospital is still there, and it is senior citizens building. Dr. Unthank and Dr. Richardson, she was a white woman who had a very keen interest in pediatrics. So she worked with Dr. Unthank at General Hospital No. 2, and also with Dr. Perry at Providence Hospital to have black doctors gain experience in pediatrics. And so white doctors would come from the other hospitals to Providence and General Hospital No. 2 to train in the black community on black patients. So Catherine Berry Richardson basically was instrumental in forming the pediatric department at what is now known as Truman Hospital. When we go back to Wheatley Providence Hospital, this was Wheatley Providence in 2016, hence why I feel real sad. It looks like it needs to be torn down. And for those of you who have been here for a long time, it actually was a, what do you call it? Spook house. Haunted house, yes, thank you. And basically, it ran that way until someone purchased it, I think in about 2016. I was instrumental in just touring the building. The inside was gutted. It was really nice and everything. They had pulled out all the trash. They had stabilized the stairways and the walls, and they were going to open it up as a mixed-use building. Port offices, maybe coffee shop. But the last time I went, my husband and I went over there. This was in 2019, but that was then. And then look at it in 2025. It actually looks worse than the first picture. There's trash all around. There's a for sale sign up again. And so that's why my heart aches, because of how historic this building actually is. So I just wanted to kind of put that in there. So it's for sale. I'm not sure how much they were asking for it, but I'm sure it's some ridiculous amount. Schools. So this is Addicts Elementary School. Actually, it's the building that's on my right. And that's the picture of it. And it was the premier African-American elementary school. And this is actually the school where Charlie Parker attended as well, from what I understand from Chuck Haddix, who is, the Charlie Parker expert. What happens is Charlie Parker met his first wife, Rebecca, on the steps of Addicts Elementary School. But the school was named for Crispus Attucks, who was a runaway slave from Boston who lost his life on March 5th, 1770, and is considered to be the first man to die, black or white, in the American Revolution. So now that building has been transformed into the Joe B. Art Center, and they have exhibits, artist in residence, performances, all kinds of things there at this. They're usually open Monday through Saturday, I believe. But you can check their website to see what's going on with that. After a while, the Crispus Attucks Elementary School was relocated to 24th and Prospect, but then they changed the name altogether, to the Wendell Phillips Elementary School. So the junior high school is R.T. Coles. Richard Thomas Coles, for who the building was named for. Vocational and junior high school opened in the building that was formerly occupied by Lincoln High School, And when Lincoln moved up to 2111 Woodland, R.T. Coles moved into that space. And this is R.T. Coles, the man. He was a follower of Booker T. Washington, and so he believed in industrial education. So I always like to tell the jokes to people that I actually know that attended R.T. Coles. There's a couple people that attend the church that I go to. And what happens is that I always laugh because when you are 15 years old and you graduate from R.T. Coles, then you have a trade, whether it's brick building, painting, hair styling, domestic service, art, whatever it is. By the time you're 15, when you graduate from R.T. Coles, you basically have a vocation. So I used to ask a gentleman, I'd say, Mister, so when you graduated at 15, then you were ready to get married because now you were on your way out to make a living? And he said, no, I didn't get married till I was 22. So, but that's just a funny thing to me because this was to equip the people that graduated from the junior high school with a vocation so that they can go on and make a living doing what they can do. The other people that did not want to do that would go for college preparatory, which would mean they would go up to Lincoln, and then they would usually graduate, go on to college, and that's the way it would be. I want to tell another quick story, and I hope I don't run out of time, is that there were only these junior high schools and the high school in the Kansas City area, because the way segregation was set up is that it wouldn't allow students in other communities to attend the white counterparts. So I had spoken with the lady when I was doing some interviews, and she said, she's passed on, but she said that they lived up in Excelsior Springs, but they had to come to high school and junior high school here in Kansas City if they wanted to continue their education. Otherwise, they would be done at the 6th grade. So what would happen is that they would get on a bus in Excelsior Springs around 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they would make the rounds. And I hope I got the geography right, because they would go from Excelsior Springs maybe to Liberty, Liberty to Independence, Independence to Blue Springs, Blue Springs to Greenwood, Greenwood to whatever else comes next, and then they would eventually make their way around to Kansas City. Now that was okay. The bus driver had to be paid by the communities that employed him. And he lived in Excelsior Springs, so he would go that way and come home that way. But she said they would have to be up by 4 o'clock in the morning to pick up all these people, and then they would have to be on the bus until maybe 6 o'clock in the evening, not wintertime, to be able to come back home. So she also made a joke about it, saying that she decided that she wanted to engage in an extracurricular activity so that she can stay in Kansas City, and her parents would have to pay to board her, and then that way she didn't have to get on the bus to do all that riding. But a lot of the football players would live with maybe the principal or somebody else in the community that would be able to take them in, or sometimes the boarding would be free, depending on who it was, a relative or a good friend. So, but I just thought that was a funny story because she decided she couldn't do that. 4 o'clock in the morning is pretty early when you don't have to be at school until 7 or 8, you know. So here's a historic marker that is located right now at 19th and Tracy, and I was instrumental in helping to put this plaque into place. But it saddens me again, every time I go by there, you can see the back of the buses, and there's nothing else. There's no other site except for the buses that they park over there. But, and if you drive by it, you will miss it if you're not really stopping to look for it. We are still working to get some money to try to beautify the little area around there. And then, of course, there's Lincoln Prep, and that is the school that was supposed to be the castle on the hill, because it was supposed to be the best, the best high school in the area. But for African Americans, it was just great, okay? And so what happened is that they had a couple of name changes, and it was Lincoln Academy, Lincoln High School, and then it became the Lincoln Academy for Accelerated Study, and now it's called the Lincoln College Preparatory Academy, and that was in 1986. So this was one of the principals, Hugh H. Cook. He was the principal of Lincoln High School, and during his tenure, he was actually instrumental in doing so many great things. So as I talked about before, it is very hard to talk about the community at 18th and Vine without talking about all of the churches in the area. The one church I really want to highlight is the Vine Street Baptist Church. It was located, of course, on Vine Street, and it had been, it came up with a bunch of names depending on what street they moved to. And when they settled on Vine Street, that wasn't the end of it. They eventually became the Paseo Baptist Church, and that's just a rendering of the church in the 1950s. And what happened after that is that, have you ever driven down 71 Highway and you come to that curve right at Paseo Baptist Church? Well, I like to come in the community back then because they decided when they started digging that hole that there would be no way that they would allow that church to be torn down and the highway was going to come through it. Without realizing it, a lot of people don't know that 70 actually cuts off the black community, east and west, and 71 cuts it off north and south. And so I would, like I said, commend the community for taking the action to have them build that curve around the church. Now, people say that's not a big deal, but it really is, because do you know how much planning that it takes to reroute something that is already on the books? So I would just like to say that. Here's the other church that is worth mentioning, and that is Centennial United Methodist Church. It is located at 19th and Woodland, and it was founded in 1907. But why I want to highlight this one is because one of the famous jazz people, Benny Moten, he was a member of this particular church, but his funeral was held there. He had a tonsillectomy on April 2nd, 1935. And what happened is he had a gig the night before, and he wasn't supposed to eat or drink anything after midnight. But I guess by you being a jazz musician, you're going to eat, drink, and make music, be merry, right? So he went in for his tonsillectomy, a routine procedure, the next day over at Wheatley Providence, which is located right at Forest and 19th. And when he was getting, his anesthesia was given to him, and I'm not medically, savvy, but what happened is that he aspirated into his mask, I guess. And it's just a pause for me. They have equipment that was able to save his life, but another issue because of segregation, they only had one machine that was utilized between the two black hospitals, Wheatley Providence and General Hospital number 2. And General Hospital number 2 had it that day, so they were not able to save his life. Okay? So let's go to a happier subject, attorneys and judges. I'm sorry. So Charles H. Calloway was an attorney in the 1920s, and what makes him really famous is offices were located at the Lincoln Building right at 18th and Vine, and he basically was a founder of the National Bar Association, the American Bar Association, and the American Medical Association. I know for sure the Medical Association did not admit African Americans until 1972. I don't know when the National American Bar Association allowed them to come in. But what happened, he was a founder of the National, and you can just take that word in the 1920s and just like substitute it for black. National Association of National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, National Bar Association, National Medical Association. So people had to develop their own parallel organization, and he was one of the founding members of the National Bar Association. He was also pretty well known in the black community, and for one reason is he represented a woman by the name of Miss Sarah Rector, who happens to be Kansas City's first black millionaire, as I like to dub her. And what he did is he emancipated her because she had millions of dollars. And so she was able then to come from under her white guardianships to spend her own money, and he was her representative. So let's just kind of come up until the 70s, 80s, I think 80s. Leona Pouncey Thurman was a black attorney, and she was a divorce attorney. Her office was located right at the corner of Paseo and 18th Street. So I understand that I'm running a little long, so let's just go through the police. The first black police was William Davis. First black female was Rosie Mason. And of course, we have Daryl as chief of police at one time, and now the Jackson County Sheriff. Baseball is another one. We had baseball then. The Monarchs won the 1924 World Series a couple times. Of course, we all know Buck O'Neil. And then Frank White is a former Kansas City second baseman. He was one of the best in the league at the time. Newspapers and journalists, there were a couple papers, Kansas City American, I won't go into detail, and then of course the Call, which is still available today. It is the longest running black newspaper west of the Mississippi. You'll notice that I say that a lot because on the East Coast a lot of things were already happening. And Lucille Bluford, of course, she sued MU for admittance, and then she went to KU for her journalism degree. Businesses, there's way more than what I'm going to mention here, but Fannie Minks, she was located at 18th Street. She had pink Cadillacs, and her building facade was also pink. And Homer Roberts, he was the first black automobile dealership noted in the United States. He had Hupmobile, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile dealerships, and he has been documented as that first person in the whole USA. And that was his building located at 18th and Vine. And then, of course, there's barbecue. I usually take a little survey about Gates and and Arthur Bryant's, but we're going to bypass that today to let you know that Henry Perry was the first barbecue king in Kansas City. He had two people that worked for him. One went to Gates, and the other one was Charlie Bryant, Arthur's brother, and so they founded Bryant Barbecue, Arthur Bryant's, and then, of course, the one that worked for George Gates came. They changed the sauce up a little bit, both of them did, and they made two different sauces. I think that is one of the biggest difference. And of course, Hi, May I Help You has become part of our Kansas City lexicon and barbecue. And so the Kansas City Black Mayors, I just want to end with this to say that without the issues of the past, without the accomplishments, the achievements of the past, Kansas City Black Mayors would not have been possible. And that is why I'm going to highlight them. Of course, we have Emmanuel Cleaver, and then we have Mr. Bowtie, Sylvester James, Sly James, and then our current mayor, Quentin Lucas. And so basically, I'm going to give you a little bit of a conclusion so we can wrap up here. So there have been many changes, of course, which I've highlighted that have occurred in the Black community since the 1920s. Nationally, other communities have changed almost in the same way, not a big deal. But without these strong roots, many of which became the first in their communities, these achievements may not have been possible, which is why I always want you to go down to 18th and Vine to see what's left there. And it should serve as a reminder of the accomplishments of this district and its part in developing the history of this great Black community in Kansas City. And that is my tribute to the past, the present, at 18th and Vine, the historic district. I also would like to just make one quick announcement, is that I do a walking tour through Kansas City Jazz Live. We do 2 in the spring and 2 in the fall, and you can go to their website to find out about that. And by the way, I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. My husband kept going like this, and so I just want to say shout out to Detroit, and it has become now the comeback city. I don't want to give that to Kansas City, to the historic district, but it is coming back. Believe me, take my words. Maybe not in my lifetime, but here we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have time for...
Oh, shoot.
We have some time for questions.
Oh.
Can you stay for questions? Okay, make sure you're... Yeah?
Am I on? Yes.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Make
If
sure
there's
you're...
any questions about any place other than the ones I've highlighted, I would be more than happy to talk about those because there's so many. I just couldn't name them all. Yes.
Right. Happy birthday, David. He's got a question.
Thank you. General question, do you feel that anything from the Black community has been lost from a reduced need for all of these parallel institutions?
You know, it's almost a question of, do I think that integration worked?
Possibly.
And I always like to answer that particular part of the question because I think that, yes, I'm a part of that. I think that I grew up in, like I said, communities. The Black community is almost the same throughout the country. I just happen to live here, so I'm focusing on this one. But I think that it does help. But I think that the need has been kind of severed a little bit because I do feel that people should be able to go and do anywhere, anytime as they please. We were talking about, somebody mentioned free speech the other day. I believe that we should be able to say that too. So, yes, I think that the need is no longer there for these segregated communities. I think I would like to see or envision a more integrated community.
Okay, my question is, we might tell you a little more about Oasis people, but we like the Vine Street Brewery. Has that, young owners, has that helped any with the development or the continued strength of 18th and Vine?
You know, I think that I like the idea of, yes, I believe that it has, but I think that all the residential places to me have taken away from what else we need on at that community. You know, that used to be the old workhouse, and so that was then, and look at it now, it has blossomed into a black, the first black brewery in our area. So yes, I think that it's important that it's there. That's the then and this is the now, but I still like the idea that we need more places down there. As I said earlier, I don't know if it'll be totally fixed up in my lifetime, but I would really like to see it. So the more businesses that we have, even Wheatley Providence Hospital, if they could come back and build up the building again for a mixed use, that would actually, I would love that. I would love it.
We have time for one more question. Anybody have a question? Maureen?
Can you talk a little bit about that grant or whatever it is that 18th and Vine District was awarded recently?
I actually don't know what the details of that were. Maybe somebody else in this audience could talk about it a little more. But I think that some of that money was city money to put in that new pedestrian walk in front of the museums at 18th and Vine, the American Jazz and the Negro Leagues. So there's not going to be any car traffic that's going through there. But I do believe that some of those buildings have also been sold to private owners, and so that should actually help with the income. I'm hoping.
All right. Well, there'll be time afterwards to answer. You'll be hanging around to answer some questions.
I will be hanging around to answer some questions.
So feel free.
This mic is loose.
So much history packed into such a small area for Kansas City. It's like condensed. Thank you very much. Feel free to ask questions after the program. Oh, here's Geri's contact information if anybody would like to contact her afterwards too. Oh, question. Okay, we're always looking for volunteers to help out with our committees and our Sunday gatherings. In just a moment, we'll be passing around the task box. You feel free to grab one. And once you've completed the task, you can return it to the box in the section that is marked as done. All the cleaning supplies you might need are in the white cabinet in the foyer, right by the lemonade. Blue cards are for weekly tasks, and white cards are for monthly ones. We need everyone, yes, you, to help keep this place looking great. So, is the box going around now? Do we have? Oh, it's going fast. Grab them while you can. Last chance. While our musician comes back to the stage, I want to remind everyone that Kansas City Oasis is a 501c3 nonprofit run solely on donations and volunteers. If you like the topics and the music today, please consider donating through kcoasis.org/donate or by Venmo. Reoccurring monthly donations through our website are the most useful. And I'll add, a lot of employers have matching funds, so if you're working somewhere where they have matching funds, make sure to take advantage of that. And now, we will welcome Adriana back. Oh, that's you, yes. Yeah. You looked very surprised when I said your name. Welcome back.
Just wanted to say, Geri Sanders, I was really looking forward to that, topic today. So yeah, awesome. It was awesome, and yay, fellow Michigander. And the Mariners took, Mariners versus Tigers. I saw that. I was just in Michigan visiting my dad out there, and we watched the Tigers versus Mariners, and well, you know, you win some, you lose some. Just really quickly, I was actually there for the Chiefs versus Lions game, and my mom and my dad, who is her ex-husband, because my mom and I traveled out there together, and we went to a bar and watched the game that night, and we were the only but we didn't know. We were like, oh, but the Lions have a good team. But yeah, it was just hard not to cheer for the Chiefs. So everyone was just staring at us like, but yeah, go Chiefs. So, and then we'll get you out of here so we can all watch the game. Yeah, thank you for all that information. When I first moved here like 13 years ago, I actually went to 18th and Vine quite a bit and just would jump in with bands, and it was a really good time. So it's really great to hear the history on that. And I will tell you, when you were talking about the jazz musician who had to get the tonsils removed, that like made my blood boil. That's so sad that, you know, so. But here's to free speech, and hopefully just everybody just, you know, I'm a big hippie at heart. I just want everyone to get along. Like, let's have conversations, but let's do it in a way where we can be, you know, try to be civil about it, but it's just kind of hard right now. So, anyway, this is a song called Unglued. This is, I wrote this like 6-7 years ago, and it is out. And it's basically just about getting, you know, again, open for interpretation, but I wrote it as, I'm coming unglued. I'm either unglued, like going, you know, like really upset, crazy, or I'm unglued, like I'm free. So it's either way, but. Too good to be true, it takes you so far below to see even my eyes. I start to realize it's all just pretend. You're calling yourself a friend. I get lonely too. How's it feel for you? I'm ready to break free from these chains I let you put on me. Well, ready to break on through. Well, you do what you do, and now I've come unglued. Yeah, running so fast that I get stopped in my tracks. I'm at the end of my rope and slipping through all the cracks. But I kick up rocks and tear down every roadblock, regaining my speed, and now I'm finally free. Now I'm getting through. Well, there's no more of you. I'm ready to break free from these chains I let you put on me. Well, ready to break on through. Well, you do Thank y'all.
That was my favorite one today. That was great. Thank you so much. Make sure we show some love. We've got the Venmo up here if anybody's interested. We also have a jar down here if you'd like to use cash. You can join us for lunch after Oasis in the Crown Center food court. Choose your lunch at one of the many restaurants, and we will push together several tables together to continue the conversation. There's the address, 2450 Grand Boulevard. Next week, our speaker, Diane Burke, will talk about On Slavery's Border. Music guest will be Swoovy. And the community moment will be Kevin Lambert. Hope to see you all here. Before you head to lunch, take a few minutes to help clean up. We want to thank again this week's presenters, Geri and Amanda, and musician Adriana, and thank you for being here or tuning in online. We'll see you all next week.